Alright, I have a game for you today, as you probably already saw in the description. This is the Feudal Ram Rush. Ram Rush! You can really only do this with Cumans because Cumans get rams earlier in Feudal Age than other civs where they would get them in Castle Age. Now I'm going to show you this from my perspective because I want to show you how this build or order works. And I'm telling my teammate now, this is a random individual. We did have 1 minute to talk, but I didn't really feel like he got what I was trying to say to him. As my neighbor is hitting in a nail, my goodness, Ram Rush! Why are they hitting in nails into my wall at, what time is it now? Almost like 7 o'clock on a weekend. Come on, duders. Don't you know it's all about the Ram Rush? So I type in all caps, Ram Rush! Because I was really pumped. I had only tried it once before this game and it failed absolutely miserably. So I'm going for those 6 on food, and there is the deer lore. I do get that deer lore very close to TC. That's very nice. And now my next ones are going to be sent to wood. Now you might be wondering, wait, why are you able to see all of Blue's base, your ally, as well? Well, the reason that I'm able to see that is because he is playing as the Portuguese. So I wasn't really convinced that my teammate understood what I was going for. Okay, he's like, yeah, it's fine. You do you, man. Meanwhile, I'm trying to push this deer outside of my gate. That's not very helpful. Come on, Jeffrey, get your act together. I mean, ram rushes are great, but you really do need the other player to support. Otherwise, it's just going to be disastrous. So we went for our free on wood next, and the next one I like to send is to the boar. My next villager is going to be to wood again. You like that 3 or 4 on wood, but I kind of like 4, especially if you're going ram rush. And the reason is you're going to be really heavy on wood, and that's a little bit unfortunate that I did kill that pig there. I was going to say sheep, but that's not a sheep, that's a pig. And 4, and now we need to build a house just to make sure that we're not going to get housed. I really don't want to get loom until right before feudal. And the reason I don't want to get loom earlier is because I want my villagers to get as much resources as possible. This is a very resource intensive build, and I only barely pulled it off. So I'm feeling quite good in this situation because, you know, I have plenty of food flowing in. Did I go 5 on wood? Okay, scratch whatever I just said. You go 5 on wood, not 4 on wood. I mean, you kind of just adapt as you go along, right? That's part of the fun. And I'm really thinking to myself, like, where is my other boar? I was looking around my map to find the boar, and I don't know if you can spot it, but I think I just spotted it when I built that villager over there. My boar is right here, kind of hidden away. I think I maybe even sent a message about that. I'm like, I feel like I'm down the boar, or something in that nature. So I'm just going to take berries, but does she realize? Oh yeah, okay. She is sent to get that boar. That boar is going to be brought in. And more food. Now we want to reach feudal as fast as possible, but at the same time we want to have enough on wood and enough on gold to be able to continuously produce rams. Oh man, a little messy on that boar lore for sure. The boar even runs away, but we get there eventually, and we didn't even lose one. I did see that Yellow was scouting me over here. I really want to kill his scout because the one thing that absolutely wrecks a ram rush is if they scout your forward. You don't want them to scout it, because if they scout it, they're going to basically just build walls behind and have military up by the time you get there. That's a no bueno for sure. Meanwhile, if you look over at Blue's base, he has a lot of food as well. He's going for free on wood, pretty standard stuff. He even managed to get some farms out already, maybe a little bit early. And there is the boar lore. Very nice. I wonder if he's pushing in his deer as well. It does look like he's pushing at least 1 deer. My deer not being consumed very properly, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry. Ram Rush! So I guess I went for 6 on wood in the end there, just because I knew how heavy it was on wood. I know I said 4 or 5, but you're just gonna have to adapt on the fly. Now, think about this. You're going to have to spend 150 on the blacksmith, and then you're going to have to pay 200 wood for the siege workshop, and then you're gonna have to crank out another 160 for food. So I'm asking him, are you gonna go scouts? Scouts to build? And then right before we get to feudal, I'm gonna put some on gold. To continuously produce rams, you need about 6 on gold. I'm also gonna get the wood upgrade and the gold upgrade as soon as I reach. I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, once we have the 26 pop, so that's 25 villagers, we're gonna go 25 pop up. Where are we going to hit and who are we going to hit? So my scout is doing some scouting work very slowly, trying to figure out where my opponent is. And I'm not hearing anything from blue. All I've heard is, yes, it's fine. So like, yes, that's it. I'm sending 3 villagers forward. Now, in the past, I sent 1 villager forward and I failed miserably. And the reason I want 3 villagers forward is I want to be able to repair. So I'm saying, okay, we're going to go over here. I think this is relatively hidden. And blue just says yes, yes. And he's bringing over his 1 scout. His 1 scout. I'm like, where is the rest of your army? What is this? Why is it just 1 scout? And there's yellow scout, and that is actually really, really bad. We definitely want that to die. Do decide to keep these villagers occupied. We're going to build a whole bunch more rams. So once again, 150 for the blacksmith, 200, so that's 350, and then 160. So that's going to be 460, I think, that we need. So I have a little bit more, but we want to produce several rams. And actually, to produce several rams, you actually need, I believe, 12 or 13 on wood, which is really, really wood intensive. And then also, we want to have 6 on food to continuously produce villagers. Now, I do have a little bit of res, so all of these additional villagers are going to go to these berries. I was very happy that I was able to push those here. And I'm like, hey, bring your scouts here. And only Larry over here. Larry and Jeffrey are holding it down over here. Jeffrey's like, where's the rest of your army, my friend? I'm like, oh man, because just rams is not good. So I'm thinking, do I have to go archers as well? That's a lot of investment. Alright, here comes the siege workshop. So we have 200 in the bank. So I did get that gold upgrades to mine the gold more efficiently. And I got the wood upgrade. So you can see how fast that wood is decreasing. Additional villagers are going to those berries, like I said before. Just because we also want to maintain villager production. There's no point in wrecking your... It's going to work. Maybe? I mean, I have no idea at this point. I'm feeling pretty good about how I've played it so far. Even though I have these villagers idle in the front here, I don't really know what to do with them, if I should just send them back. I'm like, bring army! Bring army! Where's your army? Where? He's like, I got Larry right here. I think I called him Larry, I don't know, or Leroy, or L name. We'll just call him Larry. He goes by several names. Larry is scouting. I'm like, dude, don't give away that we're about to ram rush over here. Because whenever you see a scout, you know something is up. I've several times seen people scout my resources. I'm like, do you have scouts? Like, what is going on? And then I see this over here. I'm like, what is he doing? And then I see advance to castle age, and I'm like, oh, he wants the castle drop. Okay, cool, but that kind of defeats the point of the rams, right? Or what's the idea with the castle drop? Because if he drops the castle drop close, then going to C. Anyway, I have 3 rams, almost 4 rams ready to go. I'm trying to keep that villager production up. He does go for the castle here. I hope yellow cannot see this, and I'm just confused. Okay, so he's Portuguese, so what's he gonna go for? Organ guns? We're going organ guns and rams. And I'm like, you know what? I see that yellow sees my scout over here, and he knows what's up. He knows what's up. Ram rush! Ram rush! Let's go! Go time. Ram rush. And there's no military from blue yet at all. But thankfully this castle does look like it's going to go up. We're both chasing down his scout. Get out of here. I clicked several parts of the wall just to see if I can break this down. There are some archers coming out, but that's actually quite good for us because we have scouts here, even though my scout is just taking it like a derp. You see that he's trying to wall behind here with a blacksmith, but those rams are already right next to it. Meanwhile, I'm trying to maintain the eco as best I can. I tasked these two to get this berry and then go to the wood. I built additional lumber camp with the small amount of redwood that I have left, and I'm feeling pretty decent about my eco at home, at least for the time being. And we are getting through over here slowly, and we're housed. Of course we're housed. And organ guns behind here as well, trying to stop them from walling behind. But even with all of this walling, it looks like these rams are going to be able to push through. And the organ guns now killing villagers as well. Has to give up on that. Very nice organ guns. I think archers might actually be better than scouts as well. I haven't quite decided yet, but look at this. Look at this beauty. 7 rams. 7 rams. We don't know what's going on behind these walls, but we do know that there's villagers over here, and we know that his base is located here, and that's all we need to know. 7 rams, more rams, slowly chewing in, and now is the big surprise why these villagers are in here. He has militia because he does not want his TC to go down, but 7 rams right on top of your TC. I do eject my villagers, and we're going to try and repair these rams to the best of their ability. We still have 8 rams here. Does one go down over here? No, it looks like that ram actually stays up as well. That's amazing. So we managed to save all of our rams, and now we're repairing that one that is weak. We want to keep all of our rams alive because it is expensive. At this point, 8 rams, and we're just busting down things left and right. Meanwhile, there is a counter ram rush on blue. I mean, I guess I'm not the only one that wants to ram rush. But this is a castle age ram rush, and it's only 2 of them. What was he thinking? All these villagers are going to easily, absolutely wreck this ram, or not. Regardless, we are in over here. We are ramming stuff down left and right. Feeling good about the situation. Meanwhile, there are some villagers back here. And they actually just built fight. There's no army here whatsoever. So I don't know what he's going to go for over here. It is a castle. Okay. So he goes for a castle in blue's base. This could really cause some disruption, but a quick tower is going to wall those villagers in. Very good idea if you are going to go for that. It is running them around and does cancel that castle there. And probably should just fill fight this. He really doesn't need more organ guns. We're absolutely wrecking yellow. And you know what? I was like, I need more food. I don't have enough food. And I'm looking around if there's anything else here to ram down. And it doesn't seem like there's anything else back here. Once, however, spoilers, there is. But don't worry about it. Everything is gone over here. And we're trying to, I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the next guy. Let's go to the next guy. We have tons of rams at this point. 11, 12 rams. Can we push this home right now? Meanwhile, there is a ton of disruption. Okay, let's go over here. Let's get these. Oh, oopsie. Did not mean to go to that waypoint. And he does manage to clean out all of these villagers in his base, except for this one guy. That's going to build a stable, but I think if he uses enough, yeah, he should be able to get this down before that stable does go up. Or he could even wall in this stable at this point. And then I realized with my scout, oh, look at this. Yellow is right over here. So instead of going over there, I say, let's go over here instead. Once again, I'm not actually talking to him in any way. This is just a rando. I'm like, yellow's over here. We want to just take out yellow from this game completely. Meanwhile, my rams are having a little bit of problems, but you know what? We can easily get through that gate. Castle! And this is perfect because I really love that he's building a castle because I have a total of 11, looks like another ram, another 2 rams, 13 rams. Ram rush! And I'm like, I'm up the castle. Let's go! Let's go! I think I even crank out another TC at some point. No, we actually, 1 TC. Oh, no. I built the other TC in my enemy's base and I'm stealing his farms. Yeah, that's how you do it. That saves a lot of wood. Because I'm going to want to save all of my wood for these rams, right? And I'm just laughing. I'm having a good time. That castle is already denied before I even show up. Even if that castle did go up, wouldn't be a big deal because, well, 13 rams. Meanwhile, did he get that stable up? Yeah, he did wall it in. That's a good choice right there. He's experiencing a lot of pressure at home, blue, that is. So actually has to abandon his base. So by no means is this game over yet. And the monks come out. The monks come out as well. But yellow resigns. Yellow does resign because he realizes that he's going to get absolutely shreked. And pretty soon we're going to be shrekking red. So, Ram Rush! I love how I wrote Ram Rush, lowercase ram, and then Rush, 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 and that's how you Ram Rush. Kudos to Blue. I mean, he really took a pretty good beating over there. His base was absolutely destroyed, but we were about to destroy Red's base next. Doesn't look like he has any defense here whatsoever. So as soon as we Ram Rush into his base, we can also take out all of Yellow's villagers. We can completely annihilate Yellow over here, except that we missed something. Something quite major. There are a total of 12 lumberjacks back here just chilling. Meanwhile, I've already taken over Yellow's base at this point. I'm producing villagers to get the gold here. I didn't even make it to Castle Age, but I did get 2 TCs up, so there you go. Cuman Ram Rush, a lot of fun. Let's take a quick look at the statistics here. Economy. I actually had the best economy, which is very surprising considering I was 1 TC pushing. But once the whole Ram Rush kicks in, then everybody starts freaking out and they're like, "Oh man, well we gotta make something happen right now. We gotta hit blue before, you know." And then everything's just disastrous. Units lost. One unit lost. Look at my kills. 0 kills. I love the I love the Ram Rush so much. 19 buildings razed, 51 units killed, and only 8 of the units from blue were killed, but 4 were converted, so that's something at least in that regard. And this was a ranked game, so it was relatively even teams. We were all around 2,000 team game elo, so it does work even on 2,000. It does work. You can do this, and look at the amount of wood I needed to collect just to make those rams work, and the amount of gold. Also actually managed to collect the most amount of gold, and only 3 villagers were idle because of that, because I put those 3 villagers to make the blacksmith and then the siege workshop, and then I put them in the rams, so it only cost me 3 villagers, and I managed to keep all of my rams alive. I was a little lucky, could have lost one. The one unit that did die on my end was that scout that eventually scouted Yellow. And here's our timeline. You can see that Yellow really didn't expect this very much, and then as soon as he did, he just frantically started to push out military, but that military was a little bit too late because the organ guns were already there. And like I said before, blue did get absolutely wrecked in this game, but it didn't really matter because we had the winning composition right here. We have a total of 11 organ guns, and organ guns either they work really well or they don't work at all. And I think it's the same with rams. Rams either work really well or they don't really work at all. I think Juan can attest to that as well. So with that, I'll leave you with my famous words. Please keep walking. There's no need to run. We have rams. Walk. Walk. Ram Rush!